and the title is Mahapurusha Sutta. Before I go to explain the sutta's contents, I like to say a few words about Venerable Anuruddha. Anuruddha was the first cousin of the Buddha and one of his most eminent disciples. He was the son of Sakya, Amitodhana. And when members of Sakyan families joined the Buddha and became monks, then the families felt very proud that one of their members became a monk under the most enlightened Buddha. So Bhavana was very upset, disappointed that one of his family members had not become a member, has not become a monk under the Buddha. So he asked Anuruddha to become a monk. Anuruddha was reluctant. But Mahanama explained to him the difficulties in lay life. So many problems in lay life. Since Anuruddha was brought up in a very delicate way, Mahanama said, you cannot live household life because it has a lot of problems. And therefore, become a monk. On the top of that, then Anuruddha was reluctant. On the top of that, Anuruddha's mother also did not give him permission. And she said, you, my dear son, are brought up in lap of luxury, brought up very delicately, and therefore you cannot live the monastic life. Now, Mahanama said you cannot live in lay life because you have problems in the lay life, because you are very delicate. And mother said, son, you cannot become a monk because monk's life is difficult. In lay life, you have 3 houses for winter, summer, rainy seasons. You have many beautiful dancing girls, musicians. You are enjoying sensual pleasures. When you become a monk, you don't have any of those things. No dancing, no music, no beautiful girls to entertain you. You don't have palaces, you have to sleep sometimes on the floor, to wear very coarse robes and live on Pindapata. This is very difficult for you. Now, both sides, he got this advice. Then finally, Anuruddha requested the mother, this is what my father said, and this is what you are telling me. I like to become a monk. Then mother said, okay, if you persuade Bhante, your friend, if you persuade Bhante to join you, if he agrees to go, you go. Mother was reluctant to send him alone as he was delicate. He was so delicate that when he was a little boy playing with other children, when the children had their rules in their games. The rule is whoever lost the game must get sweets to feed other children. Now, Anuruddha lost his game, and then he sent his helping boy home, asking him to tell the mother to give him some sweet. Mother had kept prepared a whole lot of sweet in her house, because whenever she knew Anuruddha was so delicate, he cannot win even a game. She knew that he was going to lose. So she kept a lot of candy, sweet, ready for him. So when this boy went and told him, "Dear lady, your son lost." So she gave some candy or sweet. Anuruddha went on losing again and again and again. Every time he lost, he sent this boy. Of course, finally, the sweet came to an end. There is no inexhaustible sweet. Then finally, mother said, "My dear boy, you tell Anuruddha that there is no sweet." But Anuruddha had done so much meritorious deeds in his previous life that the deities in that area did not want Anuruddha to know the meaning of no. So what the mother did was, mother got and so she went and told this boy, Anuruddha, mother told that there is no more sweet. Then Anuruddha said, "Go, bring no sweet." No sweet is another name for him. It's a brand of sweet. So he went and told mother, "Mother, Anuruddha asked me to take with me no sweet." And mother was so upset, and she did not know how to make this boy understand the meaning of no. So he got a ball, empty ball, covered with another empty ball, and asked him to take it and show Anuruddha. The deities in that area got very upset that Anuruddha was going to learn the meaning of no. So they filled this empty bowl with very delicious cake and gave it to Anuruddha. Anuruddha said, "My mother all these years did not bake cakes like this. This is a very special cake." Since then he began to ask her mother, "No cake." So what she did the same trick. And the deities did the same trick. And everybody tricked him to believe that there is a cake called no cake. Children are like that. One day I was coming from New York. Somebody was driving me to the airport. There was a little boy in the car. He said to the father, "Daddy, I want to buy a second-hand car." So he asked him, what is the Toyota or Datsun? No. What is the car? No, not again. I want to buy a second-hand car. So I asked him, what kind of car you need? The Mercedes-Benz or BMW or what? No. I want to buy a second-hand car. Second-hand car is a brand in his mind. That's a simple thing. Anyway, that is how Anuruddha was brought up. That is why the mother did not want him to become a monk. Because sometimes when they go on Pindapasa, they receive good food, sometimes not so good. Anyway, Anuruddha eventually became a monk. Venerable Sariputta ordained him and became his teacher. And Venerable Sariputta taught him the great man's thought, 8 great persons' thought, Atta Mahapurusha Vitakka. But Venerable Anuruddha went to a place called Cheti and practiced this, and he remembered only 7. And then Buddha appeared to him and reminded him of the 8th. So that is why it is called Atta Mahapurusha Vitakka. Venerable Anuruddha was very, very famous. Famous for what? He not only famous for his friendliness, he was very, very, very friendly with everybody. So friendly that one day he, Bhadya, Kimbala were in a forest called Gosinga Forest. And one day Buddha went to see them in the forest to see how they are doing. And they found, so Buddha went and sat down there. And then Venerable Anuruddha came and paid respect to the Buddha. Other 2 monks also came and paid respect to the Buddha. Then the Buddha asked Anuruddha, are you all working together in friendliness, looking at each other with friendly eyes, mixing like water and milk? Venerable Anuruddha reported, Venerable Sir, we do so. Then the Buddha asked him, how do you do so? He said, when one of us returns from our alms round, if there is no water, that one fill water, bring drinking water to wash and clean the place, arrange seats and eat. And when others come, the first one would say, here is food left over, if you like, you can eat. So the other 2, if they don't want, if they have meal on the way somewhere, they would clean his son's bowl and clean the place. Whenever they have to do certain things, supposed to wash their robe, 3 of them get together and help the person to wash the robe. The other 2 also help. When there is firewood, they all bring together. Always they did everything together. All days they practiced meditation Sometimes entire night they practice meditation, and all together they attain the jhanas. All together they attain enlightenment, experiment, and so forth. They all work together as one unbroken unit, team. And Buddha, he gave this report about 16 times, 16 stages. Each time Buddha said sadhu, sadhu twice. 32 times Buddha said sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then finally, all the villages, all the deities, up to the Brahma realms, everybody rejoiced. They are practicing metta, loving friendliness. Leader of all this was Anuruddha. Anuruddha was the one, when Buddha was going to pass away, he was near the Buddha's deathbed. When Buddha attained the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, when he attained each stage of jhanas, other monks, other lay people all thought that the Buddha passed away. It was only Anuruddha who said, not yet. He attained the third jhana. Then they said he passed away. He said, not yet. He attained the fourth jhana, and then they said he passed away. He said, not yet. Until he finally passed away, his passing away was confirmed only by Anuruddha. There's a lot of things to say about Anuruddha. Anuruddha was very, very, very much sick one day. And he had so much pain, excruciating pain. All he did was practice 4 foundations of mindfulness, Satipatthana. By practicing Satipatthana, he managed to overcome his pain. Anyway, Anuruddha lived for 115 years. 115 years. So, let me start the contents of the Sutta. These are when he was living among the deities in the eastern bamboo park, while the Venerable Anuruddha was alone in seclusion, a course of thought arose in his mind thus. These are the thoughts arose in his mind. This Dhamma is for one with few duties, not for one with strong desires. That is apicchata. Apiccha is desiring very few. There are various types of what you call desiring very few, various types. With regard to food, when somebody offers food, if he offered large quantity of food, he would receive very little. If somebody offered a little food, he would accept even little, more little, not too much. When somebody offered robes, a set of robes, he would select the most coarse robe, not the finest one. When somebody offers him a resting place, very comfortable, luxurious place, and poor place, he would accept the poorest place. When somebody offers medicine, all kind of medicine, he would use the most less expensive and very simplest medicine. When he attained jhanas, he would not let anybody that he has attained jhana. If he attains extreme entry, he would not let anybody know that he has attained extreme entry. When he practiced various types of austere practices, there are 13 very severe austere practices. He would not let anybody know that he is practicing austere practices. When he meditates, he does not let anybody that he meditates. He does it on his own, but he does not publicize. You know, sometimes people who are has a very poor mind, just wants to show off. But the one who practices this does not want to show off. That is the nature of practicing simplicity. Second is this, and also Buddha said, this is the practice alone is not enough. In addition to this practice, one can understand Dhamma easily and better, more clearly, when one practices this life of simplicity. Why is that? He doesn't have to spend a lot of time in acquiring so many things. He can live with very, very bare minimum, and therefore has plenty of time to practice meditation. And that is why it is said this Dhamma is for one with few duties, few desires, not for one with strong desire for a lot of things, many things, because he has time to practice it. Then the second is, this Dhamma is for one who is content, not for one who is discontent. One who is discontent, as we all know, we just said in Ratapala Sutta, their desire is boundless. Suppose there's a king who conquers a country and reached the boundary. Boundary can be the ocean. His desire is so much that he wants to reach another country, crossing the ocean, to go to another country. And that's what people do. You remember there were period of certain empires where sun did not set. Sun always was shining in one of their countries. And they are one of their, what you call, subordinate countries. Because they want to keep adding and adding and adding and adding, they have no time to sleep, always keep adding. That is Maishchata. And such a person doesn't have time to practice Dhamma, because mind is always obsessed with greed, acquiring. And therefore Buddha said that this noble thought says that if you have few wishes or less desires and have contentment, we can have time to practice Dhamma. Third is this Dhamma for one who resorts to solitude, not for one who delights in company. Now, this course will explain all these things later. This is just introduction. When we are engaged in company, we may get carried away with discussions, with talks, jokes, gossips, blabbering. We can spend a lot of time. And therefore there is no time to think of practicing Dhamma. Then this Dhamma is for one who is engaged, who is energetic. Not of one who is lazy. Perseverance is the way to overcome suffering. Viriyena dukkham accheti. Panya parisuddhati. Viriyena dukkham accheti, when we want to overcome suffering, we have to strive, make effort to achieve our goal, to end our suffering. Then the next is, this Dhamma is for one with mindfulness established, not one who is muddle-minded. Mutta sati. As when we mention in Anuruddha's discourse, Anuruddha's story, the one who practices mindfulness, meditation, and remain mindful all the time, can understand Dhamma clearly, because Dhamma becomes clearer and clearer and clearer in that person's mind when the person is mindful. When the person is unmindful, the mind can completely be muddled up, can be confused, and never understand Dhamma. Then this Dhamma is for one who is concentrated, not one who is not concentrated. When we have concentration, Buddha repeatedly mentioned in many places, Samahitam chittam yatha bhutam pajanati. Samahitam chittam yatha bhutam pajanati means concentrated mind can see things as they really are. Can see things as they really are. Now, when we go to the explanation, we will see this in more detail. This Dhamma is for one who is wise, not for one who is unwise. Wise we always mention, meaning the one who sees rising and falling. Udaya Attagamini Panya, Udaya Attagami. Seeing rising and falling of everything is called wisdom. It's a very simple definition of wisdom. Now these are the 7 kinds of thoughts that Venerable Anuruddha mastered, and he forgot the last one. So, Blessed One knew with his mind the course of thought, the Venerable Anuruddha's mind. Then just as strong man might extend his drawn in arms or draw in his extended arms, the Blessed One disappeared from among the Bhaggas at the Sunsumaragiri in the deer park at Besakala grove, and reappeared before Venerable Anuruddha among the Chetis. When Buddha disappeared from his place and reappeared in front of Venerable Anuruddha, using his supernatural power. You know, when Buddha wanted to give special advice to someone, he had two ways of approaching, two ways of going. One is Turitacharika, the other is Aturitacharika. That means when he wants to reach somebody very quickly, he used his supernatural powers. If he wants to approach somebody very slowly, there is nothing urgent, then you walk very slowly, gradually. This is the time that Buddha used his supernatural power to reach Anuruddha, because Anuruddha was, his mind is warmed up. He was practicing meditation. Before he lose interest, he must give the proper advice right at the very important moment. And that is why he appeared in one place and reappeared in front of Venerable Anuruddha. And then Buddha addressed Anuruddha and said to Anuruddha, good Anuruddha, it is good that you have reflected on these thoughts of great person. Namely, he mentioned these 7 again. When Anuruddha, you reflect on these 8 thoughts, then Buddha gave him the last one. This Dhamma is for one who is wise, not for one who is unwise. Therefore, Anuruddha, also reflect on this 8th thought of great person. That is, this Dhamma is for one who delights in non-proliferation, who takes delight in non-proliferation, not for one who delights in proliferation, who takes delight in proliferation. What is the proliferation? Proliferation is multiplying. Multiplying of what? Multiplying thoughts. Then part is called papancha. Papancha. Papancha means that which delays your goal, attaining goal. You want to reach certain place, certain goal. If you don't have enough spiritual urgency, and if you do not take it very seriously, you take it lightly and do all sort of things, and slowly in your leisure time you reach there. And so doing so, you delay your attainment. Delaying attainment, the delaying practice called papancha. Papancha. Suppose you have a headache, piercing headache. You have a little child. You ask him to go to the drugstore and buy a few aspirin. This boy on the way sees a butterfly. He plays with the butterfly and goes little past. He finds a kitten. He plays with the kitten. He goes some distance. He finds some children playing. He would play with children. And he goes some distance. Then he finds some puppies. He would play with puppies. If there is some water, stream, he would jump into the water and swim. All sort of things he does and reach the drugstore. On the way back also he would do all these things. By the time he comes back, the mother is dead already. Because he could not reach the mother in time. Likewise, when we delay our practice by doing all sorts of samsaric things, then our attainment of liberation would be very, very far remote, not close. And that kind of practice is called papancha, prapancha. So, Buddha gave this advice to the Anuruddha you reflect on these 8 thoughts of great person, then as much as you wish. These are the benefits of practicing this noble, great person's noble thought. Much as you wish, secluded from sense pleasure, secluded from unwholesome states, you will enter and dwell in the first jhana, which consists of rapture and pleasure, both of seclusion, accompanied by thoughts and extension or examination. Secluded from sense pleasure, secluded from unwholesome state of mind. What is the seclusion? There are 3 kinds of seclusion. One is called Kaya Viveka, other is called Chitta Viveka, third is called Upadi Viveka. When you attain full enlightenment, there is another way called Patipassadi Viveka. That is not mentioned. Generally, there are 3 kinds of Viveka. Viveka means seclusion. Physical seclusion, physically you go away from hustle, bustle activities. Where you can see Appasaddha, Appanigosa, Vijanavata, Manusarasaya, Patisallana Sarupa. That means less voice, less shouting, Nigosa, absence of people, Vijanavata. Manusarasaya, you can hide away from human beings. Patisallana Sarupa is suitable for practicing meditation, conducive to practice meditation. These are the 5 qualities of physical seclusion. And then secluded from then Chitta Viveka, physical, mental seclusion is seclusion by attaining jhanas. When you attain jhanas, your senses are all blocked off from all sensory experiences and you are totally in peace. That kind of attainment is called Chitta Viveka, attaining jhanas. Then, when you overcome all defilements, you have attained the last stage of seclusion, that is called Upadi Viveka. Upadi is clinging to various things coming through our 6 doors. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind. Information of rushing into our mind. And therefore, we have no seclusion. Even desire should be abandoned. Desire is the most powerful companion of our life. Tanha Dutiyo Purusasya, Buddha said, craving is the second, craving is the companion. Even if you go to a cave, forest, empty house, you go with the companion. That companion is your greed, desire. So, sense pleasures, unwholesome state, secluded from unwholesome state. For the attainment of the first jhana, the unwholesome state that we have to overcome are the 5 hindrances. 5 hindrances. Greed, hatred, sleepiness and drowsiness, restlessness and worry, and doubt. These are the 5 hindrances. We have to overcome these 5 hindrances in order to attain the 1st jhana. You can attain it. When you have these 8 kind of thoughts, when you have these 8 kind of thoughts, we can attain the first jhana. As I mentioned, when you don't have too much desire, too much greed, and so forth, when we cultivate these 8 kind of noble thoughts, then find a suitable place and start practicing meditation, you can gain concentration. Quite secluded from sense pleasures, quite secluded from unwholesome state of mind. One enters and dwells in the first jhana, which has rapture and pleasure, joy and happiness. Born of seclusion, and therefore, in the first jhana, born of seclusion accompanied by thought and extension. Sometimes it is translated into English as accompanied by initial thought and sustained thought. Here, thought and examination is, I think, better. That means when we attain the first jhana, you have what you call concentration and pleasure and joy born of seclusion. That means your concentration is not very high because that arose from your being secluded. When you're secluded, just imagine you are working day and night for many months, and you are always, while doing such a huge load of work, you were anticipating, looking forward to one day off. Then you take the maximum benefit of that one day. You go away. No job, no computer, no internet, no cell phone, no nothing. Not even newspaper, not even the book. You just go there and stay all by yourself, assuming that you are on a beach where there are not too many people, or go to the top of a mountain, a forest, stay all alone by yourself. Perhaps you may take a picnic lunch with you. Sit, relax, and meditate. You feel very happy. That kind of happiness, that kind of joy you get when you gain the first jhana. Just imagine that situation. Then there are thoughts and examinations. There's a concentration without thoughts and examination. What are the thoughts and what are the examination? Thoughts are, with thoughts and examination, accompanied by thoughts and examination. Thoughts are called vitakka. What are the vitakkas? Vitakka, 3 vitakkas. Actually, there are 6 kinds of vitakkas, 6 kinds of thoughts. I'm following the Noble Eightfold Path. In the Noble Eightfold Path, number 1 is understanding, number 2 is right thought. Right thought are 3 against 3 wrong thoughts. 3 wrong thoughts are thoughts of greed, thoughts of hatred, and thought of cruelty. These are the unwholesome, 3 unwholesome thoughts. 3 wholesome thoughts are thought of letting go, that is letting go, generosity. Generosity means letting go of your greed. Normally, generosity, people think of offering something physically. But generosity really is a thought of letting go. Thought of letting go. Nekkamma sankappa in Pali. Nekkamma sankappa. Nekkamma in Pali, sometimes people translate as leaving home and going to a monastic life. That is one kind of renunciation, giving up to letting go. The real letting go is the thought of letting go, not physical letting go, but thought, that means desire, letting go of desire. Nekkamma sankappa. Second is thought of loving friendliness, metta. Avyapada sankappa. Third is avihimsa sankappa, thought of non-cruelty, meaning compassion, thought of compassion. So what are the wholesome thoughts? Thought of letting go, thought of loving friendliness, and thought of compassion. Now, these are called wholesome thoughts. And what is examination? Examination means sustaining this thought in mind and keep developing these thoughts. When we have thought of letting go, we develop it by knowing, understanding the benefit of letting go, advantage of letting go. When we have thought of loving friendliness, we must examine the benefit of practicing metta. Advantage of practicing metta. We mentioned it several times. I don't have to repeat them again. Then examining the benefit of friendliness or compassion. Advantage of practicing compassion. We examine. And then with all these qualities, we can attain the first jhana, provided we have those 8 great persons thought. That's the first advantage. And then Buddha said, when you reflect on these 8 thoughts of great person, then as much as you wish, with the subject of thought and examination, you will enter and dwell in the second jhana, which has internal placidity and unification of mind, and consists of rapture and pleasure, born of concentration without thought and examination. In this translation, the words are used more meaningfully. Now, this we can attain at will, anytime. Reflect on these 8 thoughts of great person, then as much as you wish. As long as you want to practice it, you can practice, because there is nothing to trouble your mind. Your mind is filled with those great thoughts. Then you attain the second jhana. You have internal confidence, placidity, and unification of mind. Internal placidity, ajjata samprasadana. Samprasadana means clarity. purity, and concentration, born of consists of rapture and pleasure, born of concentration. This concentration arises as a result of joy and happiness, rapture and pleasure. Now, the concentration in the first jhana you gain by being away from various activities. Mind is free. Now you gain concentration because of the joy and happiness, rapture and pleasure, born of concentration, without thought and examination. Now those three kinds of thoughts, thought of letting go, thought of living friendliness, and thought of compassion, are no longer required because they are already settled in your mind. Since they are settled in your mind, you can easily move on with more placidity, more ease, more comfort, because these thoughts are already settled down and you don't need them anymore. Therefore, you can gain this second jhana. Then, all these need more explanation, but I don't have time to explain all these things in detail, so I want to finish the discourse. When you reflect on these 8 thoughts of great person, then as much as you wish, with the fading away as well of rapture, you will dwell equanimous and mindful, clearly comprehending experience pleasure, and with the body, you will enter the third jhana of which the Noble One declares he is equanimous, mindful, who is dwelling happily. Now, wise ones who have already attained this state can acknowledge that your attainment is with mindfulness and equanimity because you have overcome your joy, but still you have happiness. Joy and happiness are little different mental states. Joy, I think I mentioned this in one of my talks earlier. Joy is a mental state that arises in anticipation of something. Happiness is fulfillment of that anticipated thing. I mentioned the simile, if you remember. Suppose you are traveling in a desert. You are thirsty, hungry, tired, and no directions. And then all of a sudden you see somebody coming towards you with wet hair, wet clothes, fresh face, coming towards you. Then you would ask him, hey, I am also traveling in the same desert, but I am tired, thirsty, hungry, dry. You look very fresh. So the other person would tell you, Mister, I met an oasis, a little lake in the desert. I jumped into it, drank plenty of water, ate lotus fruits, and swam, and as much as I wanted, as long as I wanted, and then came to the bank of the lake and stretched my hands and legs and relaxed. And that's why I'm so fresh. So when you hear that report, you anticipate having that experience. So joy arises in you. As you are approaching the lake, your joy increases by degrees. Therefore, joy arises by degrees. First is called Khanika Piti, Okkantika, Ubbega, Parana, and so forth. Momentary joy and increase little by little. It's just like as you are approaching the lake, you see birds are flying towards the lake. Then your joy increases. As you approach more, getting closer, you can hear children talking and playing and shouting and so forth. And there are a lot of children, they make a lot of noise. You hear them. Then your joy increases more. As you approach, you can hear them jumping into the water and playing in the water, with water. And your joy increases. And then sure enough, you see the lake yourself. And then still your joy increases. As the other man, you jump into the water, swim and drink water, and eat lotus bud and spend time there, and then come out of the lake and stretch your hands and legs and relax. That is the time you accomplish what you have anticipated. That time you have happiness. Happiness is the fulfillment of what you expected. Joy is the anticipation or anticipating something that arises in the mind. Okay? So, in the third jhana, you don't have joy because you have already passed that state. And therefore you have only happiness and concentration and equanimity. Then, when you attain the fourth jhana, all your pleasure and pain disappears, and then and with the previous passing away of joy and sadness, and you will enter and dwell in the fourth jhana, neither painful nor pleasant, which has purification of mindfulness and mindfulness by equanimity. This I translate as mindfulness and equanimity, both. Both will become pure when you attain the fourth jhana. What are the four? Mindfulness and equanimity. Equanimity began to show up in the third jhana, and it becomes pure in the attainment of the fourth jhana. And then, not only that, you have other benefits. Attaining these four jhanas, the higher mind and the present dwelling in this very life, then while you dwell constantly, your rag robe will seem to be to you as a chest full of various colored garments seek to householder or householder son, and it will serve for your delight, relief, and ease, and for entering upon Nibbana. You see, these are the benefits. There are so many other benefits. You can read the discourse if you have it too. You can also, as the benefit of this practice, attain not only 4 jhanas, you can attain even the attainment of liberation through the attainment of stamenti, once eternal, never eternal, and nibbana, arantu. All these states you can attain when you have this basis of these 8 great persons thought plus this jhana. All this you can achieve when you practice this great thought. I think, friends, this may be enough for today's talk. And then I hope you continue to practice. Having listened to this discourse, Venerable Anuruddha practiced them as Buddha advised him, and soon he attained full enlightenment. And he expressed his delight in these last words. Having understood my thoughts, the unsurpassed teacher in the world came to me by psychic powers, psychic potency in a mind-made body. Then Sadhuda appeared before him, and out of compassion to him, he gave last thought of a great person. He taught me more than my thoughts contains. The Buddha delights in non-proliferation. Instruct me in non-proliferation. It is the Buddha who taught me to curtail, limit, minimize, eliminate my thought, not increase them. Having learned this Dhamma, I delighted in his teaching. I have gained the 3 true knowledges the Buddha's teaching has been done. What are 3 knowledges? 3 true knowledges. Ubyanivasana Asavakaya Parakitya. That is, knowing the previous lives, one knowledge. Second is reading others' thoughts. Third is destruction of defilement. Asavakaya. These are 3 kinds of thought, knowledges he got, true knowledges through this practice. And that is his way of thanking the Buddha, expressing his appreciation of the Buddha's teaching. So friends, this is a wonderful discourse. You may read it again and again and see how much more you can learn from this discourse, and have a very wonderful day. Tomorrow I give a talk on Dakshina Vibhaga Sutta. A Sutta number 140 in Majjhima Nikaya. 140. Okay?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.